Good day, rock stars. It's another overcast and rainy day here in the Baltimore, D.C. area. This makes it the third day in a row that's like this. This morning is particularly rainy. This is actually one of those mornings where I would smoke weed. It's a rainy Friday. It's a good morning to smoke weed if I were still doing so. I've been very tired and exhausted in the last couple days. I would, if it were just me, I would blame it on drinking coffee too late at night. I've been replacing alcohol cravings with coffee. I find that's good, but it makes it very hard to sleep. But I'm not the only one feeling tired. One of my coworkers was complaining about feeling tired yesterday, and a different coworker took off today because they weren't feeling good. My wife has been tired, so I'm going to blame the barometric pressure. I like blaming the barometric pressure. We are all spiritual beings, and we are all connected to the earth. Our primate souls are connected to the earth, and I believe the weather greatly affects our moods and our physical abilities. So, despite what the grind demands of you, I would push back against that on days when you're tired and get your rest. Get your rest because when the barometric pressure eases, everyone's going to be moving again, and people will be demanding even more of you. Another reason I think I've been feeling tired is I've been having very intense dreams. And I'm almost 100% certain this is due to the fact that I haven't been smoking weed. And when I stopped smoking weed in the past, I remember experiencing very intense dreams. When other people have stopped smoking weed, I've heard many cases where they also have reported having intense dreams. Not that, you don't always have intense dreams. I feel like when you're not smoking weed, you remember them more. And I don't know the scientific or biological reason why that is. I'm sure there's an answer out there. Maybe I'll Google it and I'll do a little deep dive on that. I'm going to record my first deep dive video sometime soon. Yeah, not only are these dreams intense, they're a little scary. They're not completely pleasant dreams. They're engaging. I'm very much in them. They're different situations, and I'm constantly feeling like I have a hard time finding a way to get out. In fact, at one point, I remember being, recently, the last couple of days, I remember being conscious in one of my dreams that I was actually in a dream. And sort of came back out of it, but I wanted to go back in because there was something about the dream that was unresolved, and I didn't want to go back to my regular waking life not having resolved this dream, because I think that it was going to affect my life, my waking life. So there's a movie actually called Waking Life. I saw this movie in college, so this came out sometime between 2000 and 2004. It's very existential. It's not really got a plot or storyline. It's just a bunch of sort of existential conversations, and there's people talking at the camera and people talking to each other about certain topics and subject matters involving dreaming and life. It was shot really interestingly. They filmed it with actual footage, and then artists came in and they painted over every single frame. And some of these, I don't know, a more popular movie, I think, made by the same sort of creators that a lot of you would probably recall, that was done in the same style, is a movie called A Scanner Darkly with Keanu Reeves. And that's a pretty fascinating movie. It's a little slow, but stick to the end. It's pretty cool. But basically, they shoot it with actual footage, and an artist paints over every single frame. So it's got an animated feel, but it's also got a realistic feel, and it's sometimes it allows for a lot of artistic play. So in A Waking Life, they had different sections of the movie sort of animated by different animators, and some of them were more 2D and simple, and some of them were a lot more detailed and had, more of the shading and the value on the faces and stuff like that. And sometimes the backgrounds would bounce around, sometimes the backgrounds would change, but you always got a sense that you were sort of viewing real life footage. It was always perfectly, as far as perspective wise and proportions and everything. And this movie is about, Waking Life is about a kid who is having a hard time waking up from his dream. And he keeps going from one dream into another dream, and interacting with these dreamlike beings. And at one point, he's having a conversation with a dreamlike being that was explaining that once you are conscious of the fact that you're dreaming while in a dream, then you essentially, the world is your playground. You can fly and you can do whatever you want. It's really like the ultimate experience. You could be a superhero once you realize that you are, in fact, in control of the dream. And actually, they say in the movie, the guy says a good way to test to see if you're dreaming or not is to find a wall in your dream and go and try to turn off the light switch, or turn on the light switch. And if you go to your wall and you turn on and off the light switch and then the lights don't do anything, there's a good chance that you are in a dream. And a little spoiler alert here. It's a very old movie, so I think that's fair. It's not like me telling you the end is going to change anything about what you walk away from as far as what this movie is conveying. But essentially, the kid can't wake up from his dreams, and as the movie nears close to the end, they start talking about death. And that death is just sort of a dream within a dream, and you sort of get the idea that the kid is dead. You can't wake up from his dreams. And then they sort of theorize that maybe that's what death is just a dream within a dream, and you just are existing in this dreamland until, I don't know, you get sucked back in to life somehow or some way. Some sort of reincarnated scenario. And I think that's kind of, there might be a little truth to that. I think it's definitely a solid theory about what the afterlife experience could be like. I believe something definitely does happen to us when we die. I don't believe that this is it. And I feel like I know people who think that this is it. And I don't understand how you could get to that point in your head where you're like, oh, yeah, after this, there's nothing. You don't exist anymore. And even if that were the case, how do you go through life thinking something like that? I really don't have a lot of patience for that sort of perspective. It's like, well, I guess we can't talk about anything, theoretical then. If you're just here and then you're dead, then that's it. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're wrong. God, I hope they're not right. I feel like I've known people who have expressed their personal experiences to me, supernatural and otherwise, that would lead me to believe otherwise. But sometimes when I'm dreaming, I visit the same locations in my dreams on multiple times throughout my life. I remember one in particular, actually. It's like it's a little village. There's no cars. There's no cars in my dreams. There's one sort of cityscape that I visit in my dreams, and it's just sort of very black and white and dystopian, sort of an empty, large city. I'm sort of more or less in it by myself. There's no cars. It's just sort of bleakness. I've been there on a couple occasions. There's this one little village that I remember visiting on a couple situations. And there's like a sort of built, these little villages, there's a bunch of little shops. And they're sort of built up on a hill, and there's sort of these stone steps kind of stepping down into this little cobblestone sort of sidewalk thing. And it's interesting because the shops themselves, when you walk in, have a very sort of modern appearance, where the outside of the shop seems like very rural, almost medieval setting. And these shops all sell little knickknacks and stuff that I'm really interested in. And there's nothing that these shops aren't selling anything that you would need to survive in life. There's no food or beverages really in these shops. There might have been some beverages, but they weren't there to satiate you. They're more just for flavor and experience, maybe spiritual energy. But there's like crystal shops and knickknacks and things. And I remember like, oh, I want to buy this for this person and buy this for this person. And I didn't have any money, and it didn't matter because there was no reason to buy these things anyway. It was more just conversations with these shop owners. And it was a warmer feeling. But I think, and this is sort of just a theory I have, that when I die, I will inhabit these places. I will spend time in these places, and I don't think that I'll be stuck in this village for the rest of eternity after I pass on. I feel like it's more just a purgatory. It's sort of a holding ground for your soul as you sort of realize that you are not alive and on planet Earth anymore. And once you realize that you're stuck within a series of dreams that you can't wake up from, then you can transcend out from your little cobblestone village or whatever it is that you have to the heavens or the next level of spiritual, the next platform of spirits. I find it troublesome that I haven't really had a place in my dreams that is completely euphoric and wonderful that I visit on a regular basis. And not that these other places are hellish by any means. They're just bleak. Like those dream scenarios, that purgatory that I believe I'll visit, that seems a thing that will disappear forever after I transcend out from them. Those seem like temporary rooms that have been created for my spirit already that I will inhabit after I die. And then once I'm able to transcend from those temporary rooms have no reason to exist anymore. Last night's dream is still sticking with me. It was very intense. It was sort of in a sort of like a slum neighborhood of sorts. Not quite city, not quite country. Lots of paved area, some bodegas, and there's no Starbucks in these dreams. There's no Target. There's no popular or known commercial entities. But there are commercial entities you can go in, and in fact, in my dream last night, I was trying to get out of this neighborhood, and I couldn't. And I was going to order an Uber or a Lyft out of this neighborhood in my dream last night, and I found a place where I ordered a soft serve ice cream, and it was the vanilla and chocolate swirled in a little cone, little cake cone. And in that little ice cream section of the store, I also ran into a girl who I was interacting with earlier in my dream. It wasn't a sexual interaction. I've never met this girl before, but there was definitely a spiritual connection between us. As if we had known each other on some other plane of existence. And I wonder if maybe I am interacting with other spiritual beings. Maybe this girl is currently alive somewhere on this planet right now, and maybe we are both sort of slated to pass on from this realm at the same time, and this is we will exist within the same purgatory together. Maybe this is all just, maybe these dreams that I'm having right now are all just a prequel to what's going to happen. I'd like to start doing exercises. I'm gonna keep a pen and a pad of paper on the side of my bed, and when I wake up from these dreams, I want to quickly write down what it is that I was thinking and feeling and experiencing in that dream. Because I mean, I'm sure everyone's experienced this when you wake up from your dream. Those first waking moments, you have very vivid memories of that dream, and then within seconds, they quickly dissipate from your memory. And I always found that very peculiar and troubling. Like, I can remember strong details about what happened yesterday and the day before, and these dreams were absolutely very intense. I remember them being very intense, but I step out of them and I have no memory of them. What do you think about that? You all experience something like that? And maybe, you know, through these exercises, I can learn to try to control my dreams, be conscious of the fact that I am in them. But yeah, very intense dreams now that I haven't been smoking. You know, my parents who are aging in their 70s, my mom has expressed having more intense dreams as she gets older too. I find that these dreams do take a lot out of you. But I wouldn't want to suppress them, because I feel like they're trying to teach me something, and the smoking weed was sort of shutting me off from whatever I'm supposed to learn from these dreams spiritually. And now that I'm remembering them, I need to start putting this puzzle together. Maybe I can figure it out. You know, in fact, the dream I had last night, I feel like I've been to that place before too. I feel like I was just interacting with people in that place I hadn't really seen the first time I was there. Who knows how long you sit in these dreams, these spiritual waiting rooms? Maybe this was, you know, the spiritual waiting room. The place I went in my dream last night is more of a communal waiting room, and this girl that I ran into is a spirit that's recently passed. And maybe that spirit will still be there when I die and I reach there. And maybe I have to help her move out from that. Maybe we have to help each other together. I believe that I believe in reincarnation. My wife is Thai. She is of the Buddhist religious influence as far as religions go, and so I'm starting to find a little bit more attractive these days. I was raised a Catholic. I went to Christian youth group for a while, and I stepped out of religion, and I haven't been going to church or anything for well over a decade, maybe two decades yet. And I don't think that any one religion has it right. I think you should sort of study them all and make up your own mind. But I believe my wife believes in reincarnation too, and I believe that some of the people that you have your strongest connections with in life, you probably interacted with them in a past life or in a past spiritual plane. I believe some souls have been on this planet many times and lived many lives here, and some are a little bit fresher. I definitely don't think this is my first life or second life. I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm slightly an older soul compared to a lot of the other people I know, but maybe that's just my ego. I believe that my wife is a much older soul than me. Sometimes I wonder if you're given a choice. Do you want to go back? Or do you not want to go back? Because when you go back, you lose your memory of what the afterlife is like. And let's be honest, life on this planet is not easy for everybody, and it's consistently getting tougher and tougher for lots of people. I feel like there's most likely some larger spiritual battle going on that's, we are a part of, but we're not quite completely aware of. And, if you choose to come back to this plane of existence, then you probably have a mission, or you might have been given a mission, and you need to find out. We all forgot what that mission is, and our job here is to find out what it was so we can complete it. Some people come back and maybe they spent their time here having a lot of fun, or wasted it being angry or hateful, and did not ever get to their spiritual mission. They missed their shot at it. I've heard, through studying different religions, I've heard there's a theory I've heard where, like, alcohol and drugs are here. They're put here by an opposite force that doesn't want you to complete your mission. They're here to cloud your mission. And maybe that's, now that I'm not smoking weed and drinking anymore, maybe I'm having these intense dreams again because I'm starting to remember what my mission was. Maybe that's why I'm doing this podcast. Maybe this is part of my mission. Who knows? Anyway, I hope you all are able to find your mission in life. Whether you believe that there's an afterlife or not, I hope you find your purpose. And I hope you do good while you're here. And that's what I'll leave you with today. I love you. Rock and roll.